Hi, Filipino wife abroad here. My new focus is what it's like to be a Filipina in America. So I want to thank everyone for your great feedback and support since I've relaunched my channel. I've learned a lot and learned even more from my Philam community and even my family. For which reason, I want to share my experiences, my factual observations, and perspectives on relationship and marriages between a Filipina and American here in the US the best I can. One of my pet peeves is watching YouTube videos from Filipinas based in the Philippines discussing how the typical Filipina doesn't care whether the man is rich or poor, handsome or ugly, old or young, or is healthy or handicapped. So, my husband was watching a video of Filipina P a couple of weeks ago where she was interviewing college age Filipinas in Dumaguete. The title of the video is Will Filipinas Date You If You're Not Handsome? Those in Filipinas are really amazing, expressing their preferences and even deal breakers when they date a Westerner in particular. And two of those ladies have caught my attention, and I just can't help giving my reaction to their standpoints in regards to dating a handicapped foreigner. This just isn't true for the typical younger Filipina, is the reason for the title of this video, Filipina Lying Eyes. Of course, my husband has a song for this issue today before we make our headway with our interesting topic. Hey, Chris, sing a bar or two for everyone.
Filipina girls just seem to find out early how to open doors with just a smile. A rich old man and she won't have to worry. She'll dress up all in lace, go in style. You can't hide your Filipina lion eyes, and your smile is a thin disguise. I thought by now you'd realize there ain't no way to hide your Filipina lion
But what
eyes.
about a guy with disabilities, like he's in a wheelchair
Oh,
or he's missing an arm?
I would like to listen to it if he wants to.
So it's not like a deal breaker that he's in a wheelchair? No.
Not to my surprise, this pretty young girl said no problem, granting that her intention is genuine when she said, I'd like to listen to it if he wants to. This shows a distinct and natural trait of Filipinas. We believe that we will learn to love our partner over time. Nothing but we're highly compassionate and empathetic human being. Catholicism or religion is one big influence on this characteristic, I believe. From my perspective, this young lady belongs to a middle class Filipino family. The way she speaks English naturally and her composure are indications that her parents are professionals and probably her clan is prominent, well educated, and well off. She's even a good catch to Filipino men in general by looks. Very refined and feminine. Qualities not only Filipino men prefer, but also the foreigners. However, to say it's okay to date a guy without legs for this pretty young lady is just a lie. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. I just don't buy it.
What about just missing a leg?
I think
It's
it's fine.
I've never seen nor heard of as pretty and young as this girl in the video married to a guy with an amputated arms and legs in the Philippines. I mean, even to an average Filipino guy. No issue at all if he's a millionaire. Nevertheless, I have not heard of this case ever. Pardon me, but not my intent to mortify this type of disability of our brothers in the West who desire nothing but to find true love. I'm just trying to justify what this girl is saying versus the reality. But I understand why she said it's fine. Again, as a compassionate and well mannered Filipina, we tend to consider others' feelings, so we have to be polite and gracious. I'm not saying that this behavior as a foundation of your marriage won't work. In fact, a lot of marriages that I know of succeed, not only in the Philippines, but even more here in the US. But as good as it sounds, it's like squeezing water from a stone for a Western guy with severe disabilities to last the marriage with a young lady that has likelihood to succeed in life rather than to becoming a caregiver her whole life in a foreign country. This type of Filipino has no interest in coming to the United States to be a permanent caregiver, to their handicapped spouse. She's simply looking for a chance to acquire visa to the US and eventually a green card or have a way to provide some immediate benefit to her family. When she's in the US and establish herself long enough to get a green card, she will reach out to the broader Filipino community and seek for help to process a divorce from her husband. This Filipino typically complains about a lack of sex or a toxic relationship. But we all know the deal initially. The American offered an opportunity for her to migrate to the US and eventually bring her family or provide direct financial aid to the family. I don't blame the Filipina. Most are living in difficult circumstances and under extreme pressure to improve the quality life of her entire clan. I don't blame the foreigners either. They get to live out of fantasy for 2 or 3 years and get a home care worker at a price well below what it would cost in the US. In a lot of ways, it's a win win regardless of how the marriage end up. But I want to be clear, if a young Filipina is marrying a handicapped foreigner, then it's simply a marriage of convenience. Anyone watching the videos and believing what these women are selling are simply fooling themselves. Let me be clear, young women need sex really badly, and I don't accept the premise that most are willing to sacrifice sex in the long run. On top of that, this young and promising Filipina should be chasing her dreams, which US has abundance to offer. And once she sees an opportunity, without looking back, she'll dump the man because she thinks she doesn't deserve the miserable life by just taking care of her husband, with stability. Harsh, but it's reality. That's what's happening here in the US. Same goes with a man. He doesn't deserve to be disappointed and heartbroken. His fault anyway. He ignored the pitfall from the start, convincing himself that this quality of Filipina, like in this video, is madly in love with him. Just be realistic, come on. But I will offer a ray of hope to those looking for true love and may have physical challenges, though, because they don't deserve to be lonely. There should always be the right one for somebody. An older single or widowed Filipinas in their 40s or 50s, even early 60s, without extended family to support and children to raise would be much more likely to take on the role of the wife and work with the man to build a life that works for both of them. Sex with the older woman is generally a little less important, and the marriage interaction is more cerebral than physical. This option has a high rate of success in their marriages here in the US and will perfectly work out if you don't take your Filipino of your dream back to your home country. And even if you opt for a young and above average Filipina, because you have the total control of your finances and lesser chance of abandonment on her part. Well, my cousin is wonderfully married to a handicapped foreigner for almost 15 years now with two beautiful daughters who go to a prominent school and they live in a high-end subdivision in our province. So I wish these videos from my fellow YouTubers in the Philippines would be a little more realistic and dial down the fantasy that every foreigner can walk into the Philippines and have any young woman that he may desire, regardless
Late
of
at
his
night, a
appearance,
big old
financial,
hammer
and
hits
physical status.
lonely.
I think
Except
the
for
world would
you,
be
left you
a much better place if we could
inside.
just be a bit
Breaks your
more
heart
honest
to
with
think
one
your
another.
love is only
That's it for
a
today. I
few
want to send a shout out to
moments
Filipina
in
P, who has
disguise.
become the queen of Filipino vloggers and kept my husband entertained many, many, many hours. But next week, you won't miss what American Filipinas think of the other young lady that Western men need to hear and reevaluate their criteria in choosing the Filipino of their dreams. Hit like and subscribe. Don't forget, please. Thanks for watching.